Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I've spent extensive time working in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I am absolutely thrilled to welcome all of you, these students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. We are really looking forward to supporting your professional growth in this incredible industry. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating explainer covering the intersection of data analytics and human empathy within a hotel's daily operations. Now, this educational explainer is specifically built to deliver high-quality, totally practical knowledge that aligns perfectly with real, high-stakes hotel operations and modern AI-supported practices. Because, let's face it, in a perfect world, every single guest who makes a reservation would arrive exactly on time and stay for their entire booking. But you and I both know the hospitality industry operates in a world of pure unpredictability. People miss flights, right? Meetings get canceled, sudden emergencies pop up out of nowhere. So today we're going to learn exactly how to manage all that unpredictability like true seasoned professionals. So here is our roadmap for the session. We'll cover 1. The revenue management strategy, 2. Mitigating reputational risks, 3. Executing the perfect walk, and 4. Proactive operational resilience. All right, let's jump right into part 1, the revenue management strategy. First things first, we need to completely refrain those unpredictable guest behaviors we just talked about. Those no-shows and last-minute cancellations aren't just bad luck. They are serious operational challenges that leave a hotel with empty rooms and lost revenue. So to combat this, professional hoteliers use a sort of invisible engine of profitability. Now, to people outside the industry, the term overbooking probably sounds like a massive operational failure, like somebody at the reservation desk just made a huge mistake. But as you'll learn at the Europe Hotel School London, overbooking is actually a highly calculated, heavily data-driven revenue management strategy. By intentionally selling more rooms than are physically available in the building, a hotel aims to perfectly offset the number of guests who just fail to arrive, ensuring they finish the night with a full house. Let's think about the historical probability logic behind this. Say a revenue manager is analyzing years of data and determines that on an average Tuesday, there is a very consistent 5% no-show rate. Well, if that hotel has exactly 100 physical rooms, they might confidently decide to sell 105 rooms. They do this knowing full well that 5 of those guests are likely not going to appear. And really, that's how a hotel maintains a steady flow of income and maximizes its overall yield. But as you can probably guess, overbooking is a high-stakes game. The absolute crucial point here is keeping a constant watchful eye on something we call the wash. The wash is basically the calculated difference between the total number of bookings in your system and the actual guests walking through your front doors. When you manage it correctly, it's pure profit. But if it's managed poorly and that expected wash doesn't actually materialize, well, that's when you run into massive operational stress. And that brings us perfectly to part 2, mitigating reputational risks. Despite the obvious financial upside of hitting maximum occupancy, overbooking carries inherent risks, and these have to be carefully, constantly balanced by the management team. The most immediate and dangerous risk? Severe guest dissatisfaction and long-term brand damage. I mean, nobody wants an angry review going viral. So to mitigate this, preventive measures have to be woven directly into the daily reservation cycle. Modern property management systems, or PMS, track historical no-show rates, and they actually categorize them by specific guest types. For example, a leisure traveler who has prepaid a strict non-refundable rate, they have a very high probability of showing up. But conversely, a corporate traveler who booked a flexible rate has a noticeably lower probability. The PMS basically uses all this data to ping us with alerts and set safe overbooking limits, making sure the system never sells dangerously beyond a safe threshold. But here's the thing. Even with the absolute best algorithms in the world, you still need a human safety net. There's a vital industry practice known as the reciprocal agreement. Maintaining strong professional relationships with your competitor hotels, what we call your comp set in the industry, is absolutely essential. It's an unwritten rule of professional courtesy. It goes like this. Hey, I will take your overbooked guests today if you take mine tomorrow. This brilliant little agreement allows a hotel to manage overflow gracefully on those days when the data predictions just plain fail. Moving right along to part 3. Executing the perfect walk. All right, this is where we step out of the revenue office and into the harsh reality of the front desk. In the age of social media, one single guest who feels mistreated can share their negative experience with thousands of people, literally wiping out whatever profit you gain from selling that one extra room. When every single booked guest actually arrives, the front office team has to perform an absolute masterclass in communication and empathy. We call this walking a guest, relocating them to an alternative hotel because yours is totally full. Step 1 is always a sincere face-to-face apology with complete transparency. Step 2, you have to provide accommodation at a nearby property of equal or even higher quality. Step 3, your hotel typically foots the bill for that first night's stay and the transportation to get them there. Step 4, you call the receiving hotel ahead of time to make sure the room is perfectly ready and the guest is greeted by name when they walk in. And finally, step 5, luxury hotels will offer a recovery gift, like a nice voucher for a free meal, to genuinely turn a negative crisis into a stunning demonstration of exceptional service recovery. Now, because walking a guest is such an incredibly sensitive situation, rigorous staff training is the true cornerstone of the strategy. At the Europe Hotel School London, front desk agents go through intense role-playing. They learn how to calmly use positive language instead of falling back on defensive excuses. Plus, they're trained to quickly prioritize who absolutely must not be walked. It's an ironclad rule. You never walk your loyalty program members, your high-value corporate clients, or guests who are staying for multiple nights. You just don't do it. And that leads us to our final section, Part 4, Proactive Operational Resilience. You see, it's just not enough for a manager to only understand the math. They have to demonstrate the highest level of operational foresight. You have to protect the guest's needs and the hotel's bottom line at the exact same time. And this brings us to what I consider the absolute gold standard of hospitality management, pre-walking. If a savvy manager sees that the hotel is undeniably overbooked for the coming evening, they don't just sit around and wait for a stressful confrontation at the front desk. They act proactively. They'll actually call a local guest or maybe a one-night traveler early in the day and offer them a highly attractive upgrade at a sister property before they even leave their house. This is so brilliant because it completely neutralizes the overbooking situation before the guest ever steps foot in your lobby. It transforms a potential crisis into a smooth, controlled, and professional maneuver. As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a really crucial thought to carry forward into your careers. The modern hospitality industry is heavily powered by immense data, for sure. But at the end of the day, it is ultimately delivered by human beings. As future leaders stepping out of the Europe Hotel School and into the real world, how will you balance the cold, hard precision of maximum occupancy algorithms with the warm, genuine empathy required for true hospitality? Think about that. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I wish you the absolute best in your continued professional development.